and fucking grab Mr. Body. Like, that's hilarious. I never noticed that.
Mustard, they show his pics.
Mm-hmm.
Is it with Yvette at this point?
Yeah, Yvette is there.
They don't mention that it is Yvette.
No.
Until
they don't.
later.
No, but they know it is of Yvette.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that. There was another moment that, again, Leslie Ann Warren's facials are genius, because she mentions she's a madam. And Professor Plum just goes, "Can I get that number?"
Yeah.
And she looks disgusted. I'm like, "You're a fucking madam. This should be everything you want." But she still looks disgusted at him, because he's also tried to grab her ass several times. So clearly he wants to fuck her.
But him and Mustard are real handsy with Scarlet this entire film. How do you get a woman into positions like that? And then Plum grabs Mrs. White. Let me
show you. And he doesn't.
Get off of me.
Her line reading of "get off me" is just genius. There's a couple other great moments she has. There's one where they're like, I think it's also Colonel Mustard who's screaming, and she just looks at him, like no emotion whatsoever, but she's screaming. Oh, fuck, she's brilliant.
At this point, the body's gone. Mr. Body, that is. Mm-hmm. And they go find him, and then he's attacking Mrs. I think Mrs. Peacock. It's like, no, he's been dead. He's still dead, but he's bloody. He's got fresh wounds.
He basically is Weekend at Bernie attacking.
Yeah.
Because she went off to the bathroom.
And he comes out of the bathroom, like Frankenstein's monster. Mm-hmm. Like, literally, hands up, but he's dead at this point, so I don't know how his body's moving, but either way.
I think he probably fell out of another room.
Maybe.
Or no, she was actually, because she was going to the bathroom, and she opened the door and he fell out of the bathroom.
Well, my whole thing is that he kind of walked a bit. I'm like, if you're dead, your legs aren't working.
Leaving is not an actor.
Again, I know.
No, but she opened the door to the bathroom, because that was the whole thing, because that's where we got the joke of, is there a powder room? Oui, madame. No, just going to powder my nose. Get it? Pee joke.
Then a motorist shows up to the house, and everyone answers suspiciously, because I'm like, if I rang a doorbell on a door, and literally everyone including the maid, I'm at the front door going, hello.
I mean, you should know something's up when you go to this terrifying-looking building for help. Because there was an earlier scene where Plum and Scarlet are in the car, and he won't drive any further, and she goes, well, why have we stopped? Like, why is the car stopped? It's frightened. Because the house is scary looking.
So they send him up in a room to phone for help. They lock the door again, suspicious. Mm-hmm. And then they just start to freak out. There's dead bodies. What the hell's going on? We're all being blackmailed. Mm-hmm. Nonsense. Let's split up.
Yes.
Because that's what you do in a murder movie.
That would make sense.
Wadsworth, they draw matches.
They draw straws to see who goes. And
Wadsworth with White, Green's with Yvette, Mustard's with Scarlet, Plum's with Peacock.
More Scarlet, like, disappointed facials when she sees she's with Colonel Mustard, just like, oh, fucking hell.
It's everyone searching rooms, not wanting to check rooms, not wanting to be in front of or behind each other, because no one trusts anyone. Yeah, because they deduced that it must be someone in this room. It's one of us.
And the idea is Colonel Mustard's like, we have to split up. What if one of us is the killer? And he's just like, that's what you have to find out, because at least then, if one of them dies, we know.
And this is war, Peacock. Gotta break a few eggs.
Yeah. So we have this fantastic moment where you get like everybody's sort of set piece at this point. So you have, as we mentioned, Mr. Green and Yvette, which he also has the disappointed look when he's with her. They're stopped at the bottom of the attic,
stairs, yeah.
And they're staring, and they're just like, after you, no after you, no after you. And
there's one point where they're both trying to climb up side by side.
That's what they do the whole time, is they climb up sideways, because they're neither one is willing to go in front of the other. And it's the same thing with Colonel Mustard and Miss Scarlet, where they're walking through the bar, and they're just like, after you, no after you, no after you, and then they both walk at the same time. And they get stuck and shit like that. It's genius.
Wadsworth and White are checking two separate rooms, but they don't want to. They want to check at the same time,
but they keep checking each other and make sure that the other one's still there. And
it's only Peacock and Plum that are like just wandering.
Yeah, just like whatever. I don't care, because he even points it out. Like, he's just with her, and he's just like, so just you and me, honey bunch. Like, it's just he has no interest in her whatsoever, because he's just a horn dog. So he don't care.
The cop that is aforementioned at the beginning was, I've called the police.
Yes.
The cop arrives at the front door, and again,
it's not the same cop. It's not the cops he called, though.
No,
that cop just shows up.
Yeah, that cop just shows up because he was driving and he saw the motorist, and like, oh, okay, what's this then?
Yeah. So he shows up, and then they're just like, well, like he's like, I need to use your phone. Can I come in? And they're like, yes, you can use it. No, you can use because they've got different bodies in different places. So they're like, fuck it, and then they just have him waiting in the library.
Yeah. So he arrives, and then a bunch of stuff happens. Like the evidence is burned.
Yes.
The stranger's killed. The weapons are taken. The stranger's killed.
And they threw away. They locked up all the weapons in a cabinet and threw away the key.
But then the cabinet is opened by a mysterious hand.
Yes. Who also destroys all the evidence.
Scarlet and Mustard are locked into a room that they found their way into via secret passage. And Yvette shoots them out and shoots Mustard, and he has and I've been shot.
And I've been shot.
I can't believe this.
Let us out. Let us out. Let us in. Let us in.
And then
we're not doing this justice. This movie is fucking genius.
I can't take one more scare. Chandelier falls.
Because the gun has gone off and shot the rope of the chandelier first. Because when Yvette got the gun, she tripped over Mr. Green.
Yeah.
And accidentally shot the rope that's holding the chandelier.
And then she shoots the door.
And then she shoots the door twice. And and because she tells everyone to move out of the way except for the two that are at the door.
Yep.
Genius.
This is where the cop arrives and is at the door, and he's just like, well, you can check that no. You can check that no.
They're like, why are you acting so strange? Chandelier fell. We're all very concerned.
You can try the library. Yes.
So they lock him in the library, and then he makes a phone call, and then just sort of goes, "Let me out. You have no reason to keep me in here. I'm gonna get you for obstruction of justice, forcible confinement, and murder." And then they all open the door. Murder, sir? What do you mean? I just said that to get you to open the door. Why'd you lock me in? It's like, well, they're very confused. Like, well, things are going on. Sorry.
Yes, why did you lock me into the room? Well, okay, you could just use the phone then. And then I think they locked the door. Why'd you lock it again? I don't know.
And so basically they go around and because he's going to look around. So they make...
But first there was a phone call from J. Edgar Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover. Why are you getting phone calls from J. Edgar Hoover? And they actually ask Wadsworth, and they're like, why are you getting phone calls from J. Edgar Hoover? He's on everybody else's phone, why not mine?
There's a little commentary
of commentary in there.
But yeah, he's just, that's it, I'm checking these rooms.
So they all scatter and make, tableaus with the dead bodies. So you've got...
Sexy tableaus,
because you've got Mrs. Peacock and Colonel Mustard with the cook. Through the drapes of a window where it's actually Mrs. Peacock's arms rubbing the back of Colonel Mustard.
And he's kissing
the dead body of the cook. And then you've got... Where the fuck... What were they doing with Mr. Body? I'm forgetting now.
No.
Mr. Body was sitting in a chair. Oh, no, that's the motorist. Yeah. Fuck. Where does
he was
Mr.
making
Body
out
go?
with Mrs. White.
Oh, right. Mrs. White just pulled him on her.
Yep.
And then Miss Scarlet and Professor Plum pour a bunch of liquor in the mouth of the motorist. Stick a hat on him so he looks like he's drunk, and then they just hang out in the corner and start making out. And so the cop sees all this, and he's like, well, it's fine. But he goes to Mr. Body, like, you're not driving home,
motorist.
Are you? Sorry. And they're like, no,
he's dead
he won't,
drunk.
Sir. He's dead, he won't be driving home. I assure
you, officer.
We'll put him in a car.
He will not be driving home.
So he walks out, and Wadsworth had no clue any of this is going on. So he just goes, I can explain everything. The cop's like, there's no need. What do you mean? He's like, well, it's America. It's a free country.
Don't you know that?
I didn't know it was that free. So then he just sort of sees what's going on. He's like, oh, shit, okay, they got this. So
they find another passage. Again, I think it's the second secret passage. Lights out again.
Oh, they put the cop in another room, by the way.
And then he's phoning somebody. This is a weird situation. I think he gets killed. Yvette gets killed.
And then a singing telegram lady shows up.
Singing telegram.
And a singing telegram. Bang!
Dead. That's it.
That's ironically another musician. She was in a rock band.
Oh yeah.
I keep wanting to say the Breeders, but I don't believe that is. But she was also Maxine of Arc. So she was in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure as Joan of Arc, i.e. Maxine of Arc.
They find the Yvette, the cop, and they just at this point have had an ass full of this night, and they're just like, all right.
It's the great
Their
progression
bodies
of...
on the fucking...
Yeah.
With the rest of them.
It's a great progression of they're so terrified by it, and now it's the most common thing in the world. Because
when they come across Yvette dead, they just all sigh.
Yeah.
Just a collective group.
Well, the best one is that they notice that, like, I heard the gun go off, but I also heard the door slam. So they go and they see the they see the dead body of the telegram lady.
Just shut the door.
And they shut the door. They don't give a shit. But that's not the only time they do something like that. I don't know. I never noticed this, but when they have her, they pick up her body to put her in the thing because Wadsworth's like, I know how it happened. They pick her up and then they just fucking drop her like she's nothing.
Like put her in the room with the others, drop her.
Because remember, they were so concerned with the cook to not put her on her back so that, as Yvette says, the knife will go further into our back. And by the way, Yvette's accent dropped when she was making a phone call right before she died. Her accent was not French. She was American.
Yeah, but wasn't that the point? Like, she worked, because...
I'm telling the listeners, not us.
I know. No, but I'm just trying to figure, I'm like, so...
She's American, and she works for Miss Scarlet.
Yeah.
She was there as one of the plants for Mr. Body.
Yeah, I just love how
Wadsworth.
They just like it's them opening the door, looking at her, and just going, and then
shut the door. Because they don't actually move her until much later on.
Yeah,
she stays there for a surprising amount of time.
So Wadsworth knows what happened.
Yes, I figured it out.
It is in this moment that I believe that Tim Curry becomes the MVP of this movie because he literally runs through the entire film.
Yeah. And it's
with voices and screams.
But not on top of that, it's also the cast reacting to him. Because he's got so many fucking moments where they're just getting on his ass. Where he's just like, he's talking about the whole thing, and they've got that, he's just like, and you were sitting here, 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 and he gets through that.
And get on with it!
But then he's like, you were sipping this, you were sipping this, get on with it! Right. Like, and that's not why it happened. No. Just keeps going forward.
And Peacock screamed, and you slapped her. And then he slaps Green.
he slaps
Peacock again.
And she's like looking angry, like, fuck this.
He's like, I had to stop her from screaming.
And just, and then it's just like,
this is what I'm saying, like, he's running around this house like a goddamn madman.
He is.
And I'm like, I guess Rowan Atkinson could have done this, but like,
but he's also,
like
but this is where Green gets his fucking thing, because he's knocking him over, he's throwing him all over the place, and
he picks him up, he drops him, he picks him up, he drops him, he throws him in a chair.
He throws him down once, he goes, will you stop that? No. And he keeps going.
And pushes him down again.
Oh, so good.
Throws him in the bathroom, Green comes out of the bathroom,
having used it,
hands
the towel to Colonel Mustard, who looks like very unhappy about this.
And then we find out that Mustard knew the lost guy. He was his driver in the war, and then Mustard was fucking. He's in on a bomb.
Yeah,
he's a war profiteer.
He's working on the new fusion bomb, and he's a war profiteer, and it would kill his mom. And then Miss Scarlet's like, "But you said she was dead earlier. That's confusing." He's like, "Well, and he never actually gives an explanation for that."
Scarlet knows the cop. He was on the take.
The singing telegram girl was
the patient that
Plum was sleeping with that made him lose his license.
And then I think they mentioned like that thing better not ring again. The door immediately rings, and then
go away! Don't you know that you're gonna end up dead?
It's an evangelist just trying to be like, you all need to be saved, and they're like, get out of here! Shuts the door in his face.
Beatnik. I'm like, wait, that's not a beatnik.
And they literally call him beatnik, and then she shuts the door in his face.
Yeah, that's not what a beatnik is, but good on you.
What happens?
So okay, we're at ending 1.
Yes,
and it's
Yvette was killed, guys. I think Yvette killed Mr. Body the second time, and then she was killed.
Yeah.
No, she killed the cook and Mr. Body.
Yes, she was mostly the kill, and then
because she was on
killed.
The take.
Yeah.
By Miss Scarlet. Whoever has the gun.
Gentlemen, empty your pockets. Ladies, empty.
Would you be holding a revolver in a pants pocket?
Well, where else are you going to hide it?
In a belt.
Yeah, well, it's true, but no, we're not. It's hard to keep a gun in a belt.
It's harder to keep a gun in a pocket.
Not if it's a smaller gun.
That wasn't a small gun.
Maybe the pockets were deeper.
And then she opens her purse and she pulls out the gun.
Well done, Wadsworth. And this is where we get my favorite line of the whole fucking thing, which you heard in the intro of, that's great, Miss Scarlet, but because she's just like, the only person left to kill is you, Wadsworth, and he's just like, and she's like,
yeah, the rest of us could walk away.
Yeah. So she's just like, I'm going to kill you. And he's like, well, no, you won't. There are no bullets left in that gun.